First of all, after my obeisances, countless times, my most worshipful Guru Bhad Padma Param Aradya Tamastra Tarshka Shishmat Bhakti Radharani Krishna Maharaj Gurudev. Likewise, with the entire Rupanuga, Guru Guru Varga, and all assembled devotees, please accept my Bhakti. Srila Gurudev and all our acharyas have advised us about the importance of reflecting upon our progress in the path of bhakti. He said, like a businessman, in order to be successful in business, must regularly check what is called the bottom line. So what is our bottom line in bhakti? Means, what is our basic standards that we are following in our devotional practices? Gurudev said, if you want to be successful in the path of bhakti, you should do this. Just like a successful businessman will check at the end of every day. They spent, I remember, I grew up, my parents had a gallery, and every day at the end of the day, this is also my seva sometimes, okay? You balance your accounts, you check your profit, your loss. And you do that every day, and then also monthly, and also annually you have to do that, sending your taxes. So if we do this for material life, we think it's not necessary for spiritual life. We naturally do this because, it's like, We think in this world it's like a necessity. If I don't do this, then how am I going to live peacefully and happily in this world? If I don't do this, then how am I going to be successful? How am I going to live happily and peacefully? But then we tend to neglect this in our spiritual life. And we think, I'll just coast along in my spiritual life mindlessly, and hopefully one day I'll get to the goal. But with that said, if you want to develop in something, if you want to progress in something, then you have to measure it. That's why it's so important that to start trying to do this. And it's not so easy to do unless we make a habit out of it, unless we incorporate it into our daily habits. Gurudev said, you should at least do this every Ekadashi Diti. Bhakti Thakur also said this. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj also said this. That every Ekadashi, at least, you should sit down and you should take notes. And really you can't do that properly unless you've done it during the week or the day. Okay. And if you're actually strict about your spiritual practice, then it's like you don't have to take notes at every minute. Okay, now I finished one round. Okay, now I finished 2 rounds. That's why we have the counter beats. We have counter beats because this is like our Bhakti bank, our checks and balance, our bottom line. It's like why do we pull the counter beats down? This is our Bhakti bottom line. Okay, what's the bottom line? What standard have we come to? So we set ourselves a niyam. This is called become fixed in your spiritual practice. Where they said it's better to be fixed in even a little bit than always up and down, up and down. One day I chant 16, next day I chant 0, next day I chant 64, I'm very inspired, and then for 1 week I don't chant at all. So where they said pick a level and stick to it, and then when you come to steadiness in that level, then try to gradually increase. Said, Bhakti Thakur also said it's better to chant 1 round of Harinam with the proper mood and absorption than to chant many rounds mindlessly. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj also said, better than mindlessly chanting on your beads like hundreds of thousands of names. It's just pulling on a rope, he said. Better than just pulling on the rope mindlessly is doing some seva for Vaishnavas. So it's according to your level of eligibility in your ID card. But you have to start somewhere. But they said, what does it mean to do Guru Seva? We know, Guru Seva is so important, right? Guru Seva is the most important thing. But what is the meaning of Seva? Seva means to please the object of service. Seva means Pritividan. So how do you please Guru? Guru gave you Harinam. And if you're not chanting Harinam seriously, then how are you doing Guru Seva? Harinam is Guru Seva. Why? If you do it with the right attitude. Gurudev gave me Harinam. Now I'm going to chant Harinam seriously. Because Gurudev gave this to me. And then you understand the value of what Gurudev has given. It's like, otherwise if you neglect this treasure that Gurudev gave you, and you're running around doing all sorts of other sevas, then Gurudev won't be happy. It's like, I've given you a Chintamani. They said, Nama Chintamani Krishnas. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta. Avinatvam Nama Namina. Nam is Chintamani, a transcendental touchstone. And we realize that. And it's like we have a touchstone sitting in our lap in the form of our japa beads, or in our hand, or in our room. And how much attention are we giving to that transcendental bag of gems, It's like you can imagine, if that was diamonds and sapphires, we never let it out of our sight. If our japa bead bag was like, each bead was like a diamond, a ruby, a sapphire, we never let it out of our sight. It's not like, now we go to the bathroom and you hang it on the wall. And then 3-4 days later, you're like, where are my beads? And then someone says, Prabhu, you left them hanging outside the bathroom. Do you remember? If we realized, if it was like worth 50 lakhs, 10 crores, we never put it outside. When you go to the bathroom, you go and put it in an almari locked with 3 or 4 keys. 1 level, another level, 3 level. How much attachment do we have for it now? Therefore, Brody says, if your bead bag is very dirty, he said, you're trying to do Chaitanya Dharma market, you're trying to clean your heart, but your bead bag is very dirty, means you don't have a sense of value for your japa beads. It's like Thakurji, if you're dressing Thakurji in dirty clothes, and it's like, you see japa beads, I am the first culprit, it is like dirty, it smells bad. Then you can imagine, japa mala is Thakurji, it's not different. Naman, Abhina, Naman, Amina. So, Nam is not different from Nami Krishna. And Nam has appeared in our lives by Guru's mercy as Harinam. And that is embodied in the form of not only Harinam, but Harinam along with Vrinda Devi. Vrinda Devi is the personification of Krishna's Swarup Shakti, Yoga Maya, who is bringing us towards Krishna, Radha Krishna, Nikunja Leela. That there's Yoga Maya and then there's Vrinda. One time in Katyani Brat, Guruji gave a beautiful class about what is the nature and relation between Purnamasi, Vrinda and Baladev. It was very special. A very special class. But anyhow, Vrinda Devi is there especially to give us entrance into Radha Krishna Nikunja Leela Seva. So this Harinam we're getting is connected to Vrinda Devi, and when we're chanting on Vrinda Devi herself, it's like grabbing hold of literally the feet of Vrinda Devi as Tulsi Maharani. And when we're chanting each beat, praying to them, oh please engage me in Radha Krishna's Nikunja Seva. This Harinam with Japa Mala with Vrinda is not for any other, it's primarily for this Madhurya Ras. And primarily for serving under the guidance of Radhika's Kinkari's Manjari's wife. Each of the beads is representing one of the gopis. There are 108 Brahmani gopis. When Krishna desired to experience Ras, his transcendental pleasure, then Radharani manifested from his left side. And then, this is described as two appearances of Radharani. One is Radhastami, but the other is Sadhana Purnima. When Radharani manifested, like, although they are eternal, Shakti, Shakti, Matoda, Veda, they're both eternal. But for the sake of pastime, Radhika manifested and then ran towards Krishna. Radha means Davati. Davati is to run. And Radha, with Anurag, with great love and attraction, she began to run towards Krishna to fulfill his desires, to satisfy Krishna, to engage in Raslila, and then the Raslila began. So, from Radharani then, Astasakis appeared. These are her Kaya Vyuha Swarups, her 8 Sakis. Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champa, Galata, Ranga, Devi, Sudevi, Tangavida, Induleka. These are her 8 Astasakis. These are Radhika's direct personal manifestations. So when we're worshipping Lalita and Vishaka, we shouldn't think they are different or separate from Srimati Radharani. Yes, they are unique and individual, but they are Radharani's own personal bodily expansions, like Krishna expands as Mahasam Garshan, the Yuga avatars, Lila avatars, Guna avatars. So who are Radharani's avatars? But not only not avatars, we're not saying they are avatars, but her direct bodily expansions. Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champakarata, Ranga Devi, Sudevi, Induleka, Tangavidya. And they all have their special qualities. We read about this in Prem Bhakti Chandrika and many other books, Ujjvala. So they are the first 8 Sakis. So this Japa Mala is representing one like Rasa circle, Rasa Mandal. In the Rasa Leela, Krishna is dancing, there are many different circles of gopis dancing with Krishna. So the first circle of this is the 108 beads that we chanted on the Japa Mala. And so Radha Krishna is the Radha Krishna bead. And then so it's so fortunate, like we have Thakurji, we have Radha Krishna Leela Vishaka. But in the Japa Mala, we have 108 Thakurjis to serve. Who are they? So first we have Radha Krishna, then when we're chanting on the big beads, the first to 8. Why? Lalita is Radhika's dearmost friend, and also she is like, Prakara, very bold, very strong, and she is we're also specifically in that line and mood of Lalita's gun. We're in the line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur Mahaprabhu, the Swarup, Rupanuga, Gaudiya Parampara. This is our specific line. There are many different Gaudiya branches also. But our line is the Swarup Rupanuga line. Swarup Damodar is Lalita Devi. So therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays, Lalita Sakira Ayogya Kinkori Vinoda Dhari Chepai. Vinod Thakur says, praying at the lotus feet of Lalita Saki, catching onto her feet, I pray, please bring me into Sri Rasa Mandala and let me serve there. Right? Yugala Sevaya. How's it go? Yeah, Lalita Sakira Ayogya Kinkori Vinoda Dhari Chepai. So anyhow, so we're praying that let me bring them as Sri Rasa Mandala. So then we have the 8 Sakis, Lalita Vishaka Chitra Champakarata Ranga Devi Sudevi Induleka Tangavidya. Then what are the next beats? So in the spiritual world, the group structure, the Jut structure is that you have Radhika, who is Krishna's dear most beloved, and all the first Astasakis, even though they are themselves capable of being a group, Yudeshwari, independent like Nayika, still they are serving only with complete fealty to Srimati Radhika, complete loyalty to Srimati Radhika. So then, each Radhika has 8 Sakis under her direct group. This is how the first Rasamandal manifested, right, from Radhika's Kaya Viva. So Radhika then has her 8 Sakis. Now each Saki has 4 Manjalis and 8 Sakis. Do we know their names? Can we say, when we are chanting, these are the 108 deeds. So look, Radhika, then 1, then Astasakis. Then the Astasakis each have 4 Manjalis. Why? The Manjalis are the assistants. And they perform very intimate service. And they're the closest confidant. It's said that Radhika can share such secrets with the Manjalis that she won't tell even some the Sakis. And the Manjalis can be present in Radhika's inner pastimes with Krishna when even the Sakis will be shy to be present. Because they're younger, and Radhika feels no bait, no distinction or difference between herself and the Manjalis. When Rupa Manjali and Rati Manjali are there, Radhika doesn't think like, oh, you're another. Even though Radhika has the mood like, you're my Saki. Radhika never thinks you are my Dasi. We say, I am Radharani's Dasi. Radhika Dasi Jadi Hoyabiman Sikrati Laitava Gokulakan. When we develop that mood of being the maidservant of Radharani, then we get the Lotus feet of Krishna. And in Radharasvanidhi, Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, who is Tungavidya Saki, even he prays to become the Dasi of Srimati Radhika. So anyhow, Radhika thinks they are her Sakis, but still she has such a sweet relationship with them. She sees no bait or distinction between herself and them. And therefore she shares her innermost moods and secrets with her Manjalis. So they're the closest intimate associates of Srimati Radhika. And they are one of the Sakis, types of Sakis also. So Radhika has her 4 Manjalis, and then the 8 Astasakis. Right? Then each Astasaki also has 8 Sakis and 4 Manjalis. Okay? So that all together, so you have 8 times 8, 64. And then 8 times 4, 32. Plus Radhika's initial group and her initial Manjalis. Altogether this is 108. So these are the 108 beads that we are chanting on. So we can imagine, it's like when we are chanting on each bead, do we know which personality we're praying to? Do we know which personality's feet we're catching hold of? Vrinda Devi is like the conduit. She is this transcendental personality who connects us to the Brajavasis. Like it said, there's Agnidev. When we perform fire yajna, Agnidev himself is not consuming what we give him. Agnidev is said to be the vessel or the mouth of the gods. When we offer ahati, or this, like different kinds of grains and ghee, or fruits to Agnidev in the fire yajna, then Agnidev is taking this to the personality we're chanting. That's why when we do this Vaishnava Homa, we chant all the names of Chosati Mahanta, Mahaprabhu's associates, our Guru Varga, the Manjalis, the Brajavasis, the Sakas, the Mahajans, the 4 Kumaras. We chant all their names and we offer them ahati. So when we're chanting their name, then Agnidev carries that to each of these personalities. So Vrinda Devi is also carrying our message to Krishna. That's why I said, Saranga Sharanagati Hoi Bejahar Tahara Prarthana Sune Srinanda Kumar. That person is fully followed or is following the 6 limbs of Sharanagati, surrender. Krishna will hear their prayers. So when we are chanting Harinam, we should be praying to all of Krishna's associates, all the Brajavasis. When we do Sayan Arti, what do we sing? Every night we sing in Sayan Arti, and also for Gaur Arti we sing to all of Mahaprabhu's associates. Not Gaur Arti, Panchatattva Sayan Arti, we're singing to all the associates of Mahaprabhu. Sivananda Sain, his sons, and all the other associates of Mahaprabhu. Why? It's showing the importance of praying to the associates of the Lord in order to gain the favor of the Lord. It's said like, if you want to, what's the best way to please a mother or father? To serve their children, to show love and affection for the children. So similarly, you want to please Krishna, you have to pray and worship and serve his associates. When we sing Sayan Arti, we're praying that we sing the names of the different associates. First we pray to Radha Krishna Govinda. But how can we reach Radha Krishna Govinda? Who's going to directly hear our prayers? Similarly, when we do bhajans, for example, if we do our own poems and our own songs, do they have the same strength or potency as singing Rupa Goswami's or Bhaktivinoda Thakur's or Narottam Das Thakur's kirtans? No. Because we're singing their songs, then Radha Krishna are hearing them because they are fully surrendered. Are we fully surrendered like they are? So therefore, when we are chanting Harinam, what are we thinking of? People say, I don't know what to think of when I chant. And people go and they do kirtan programs and festivals and say, for so long I've been chanting this Mahamantra, I don't know what to chant. And then we see 30, 40 years go by chanting, but still no taste. But it's like, unless you follow the process, it's like you have one of the important ingredients, but then you're missing one essential ingredient. It's like you can make a very nice sabji with paneer, with ghee, with cream, with fried cauliflower, with peas, with tomato paste, with sour cream, cashew paste. But if you don't give any salt, it's not going to taste good. You can make sweet rice. You're boiling down the kheer, the milk, a lot of nice Govinda Bhog rice. You're boiling and it's like rabri, but you forget the sugar. It's not so sweet. So we're chanting Harinam, but there's one important ingredient. What are we thinking of when we chant Harinam? They said, Mala Japad Jug Gaya, Manka Fair. The Puri says this Hindi saying. Ages have passed and I'm just chanting and chanting, but no changes come in the heart. So what are we doing when we chant? The Puri said, when you chant, remember all the associates of Krishna and Radharani and pray to them. So when we chant, we know, okay, whose beat is this? We have Lalita Vishaka Chitra, and then who are the Manjaris in the first group? Rupa, Rati, Guru Manjari, and Paragurudev Manjari. Do we know what their names are? Are we praying to them? And then, who are the 8 Sakis in Lalita's group? And the 4 Manjaris in Lalita, 4 Manjaris of Lalita? And then who are the 8 Sakis in Vishaka's group? And the 4 Manjaris in Vishaka's group? And then Chitra's group, Champakalata's group, Sudevi's group, Tungavidya's group, Induleka's group. Do we know their names? Not only their names, it's like, okay, like, oh, hey Praj, I know your name. It's like, oh, you know my name. It's like something. It's like, I see you after 2 years, and I'm like, and I don't know your name. It's like, there's no relationship. But then also, if I just know your name and I don't know any of your qualities, I don't know what you like, what is your nature, or like, we have no sambandha then, it's only name, external, first name basis. But there's no knowledge of your qualities, your nature, what you like. So similarly, with all the associates of Radha and Krishna, it's like we know the qualities of so many people in this world. We can spend years following celebrities. Like following their Twitter feed, Instagram feeds, looking at all their pictures, hearing about all their gossip in, like different gossip magazines. Oh, who are they dating now? Who did they divorce now? Oh, where are they vacationing now? And we collect all this garbage inside our minds. But do we know what is Lalita's seva? What kinds of preparations does she like? What is her special seva? What is Vishaka's special seva? What is Chitra's special seva? Not only like her seva, like there's Ekadas Bhav, right? It means, okay, your name, your village, what kind of family you're from, your relationship, your services, but also there's many other details. And these are all described by our Goswamis. It's not like the information isn't there. The information is there. Like the touchstone is there, Nam Santamani Krishna, the touchstone is there. Everything is available. It said, the world is created by God to give us a chance to see. The Lord has created this world to see, what do you want now? What do you want to do with your time now? All the information is there. We can know who are all the Sakis, who are all the Manjaris, what is their services, what are their different kinds of departments of seva, what is Sudevi doing, who is in Sudevi's group. It's very sweet. We hear how, this is also described like in Radha Krishna Ganodis Deepika. It's described all their different sevas. Prabhuji spoke on this in Mathura for a few months. So it's very sweet. And then not only that is enough, who are they in Gaur Lila, Gaur Ganodis Deepika? It's a very special pastime, how all the Sakis and Manjaris appeared in his male forms in Gaur Lila. It's a very fascinating pastime. And what did they do in Mahaprabhu's pastimes? This is also there, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavad, Chaitanya Manga, Chaitanya Mahakavya. All these books are there, all this information is there. But we have no taste. That's why Mahaprabhu said, Nam Akari Bhodani Jasaram Sakti Satrapitani Amates Varanena Kangana Tajam Sikava Kripa Bhagavana Maki Tudai Ramindrisanya Hajanina Anuraga. How unfortunate I am that I have no taste for chanting Krishna's names. Even though there are no rules and regulations, you can chant anywhere, anytime, any place, in any position. in any kind of state. You can chant. And then not only that, but Nam Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. This is not only Chintamani, a touchstone. What is a touchstone? Touchstone means, bus, you can get whatever you want from it. It's like a kalpa-vriksha, like a desire tree. Or touchstone means, you can hold it and pray, whatever you want to be fulfilled. So Nam is like that. When you're chanting Harinam, whatever you're desiring can come to pass. You're very fortunate. Gurudev said, actually we're very lucky. If we're chanting Harinam independently of Guru Vaishnavas, then all our different narratas may start getting fulfilled. But when we would go to Anukud with Gurudev, and when we would offer the bow to Giriraj, then Gurudev would say, you repeat after me, why don't make independent prayers? Gurudev would say, there's no need to, like we see, we go to Giriraj, and people who aren't the guidance of Gurudev, who is Radhika's own Kinkari, Radhika's Manjari, and Gurudev tells us what to pray. But otherwise you see people use bricks and they stack up little houses and say, I want a 2-story house. And you say, I want a 3-story house. I want a 4-story house. And 10-story house, and it falls over. Too much. Krishna said, not this life. People are thinking, Giriraj, give me a nice house. Giriraj, give me a nice wife. Give me a nice husband. Make me successful in this world. But Gurudev said no. Gurudev said, you repeat after me. And Gurudev would lead the devotees in prayer and said, no, only pray like this. Gurudev would indicate this in all his lectures. What would Gurudev pray in Harikatha before he would start? He would say, Tadevasmi, Tadevasmi, Najivami, Tvaya Vinahiti, Vigyaya Radhevam, Naimam Chadanantike. Oh, Radharani, I am yours. I cannot live without you. Knowing this, please accept me as one of your own. Please count me within your own group. And Gurudev said, Giriraj, he said, don't worry, you may have many desires, but I won't let Giriraj fulfill them. I am your Malik, I am in charge here, and I'll tell Giriraj, no. They don't know they're not intelligent. Then Krishna says, Ami Vigya, Bhishkena Devo, I am intelligent, these jivas are foolish. Why should I give them poison? They're asking for poison. He said the Devas, Chayava Karma Suchiva, Sadhavodina Vatsala. Said the Devas, you pray to them for anything, even if it's poison, they give it to you and then you suffer as a result. But the sadhus are not like that. So Gurudev said, no. You're not intelligent, you don't know what to pray for, so I'm praying for you. But then we have to remain connected to Gurudev. So Gurudev said, pray like this. And Gurudev taught us all these prayers. King Kari Shivarusa Kalika Kumani Nityam Parasya Purusasya Sikarta Modi. That we should pray just to become like one stick in the broom that is cleaning the kunj where Radha Madhav are performing their Nikunja Leela pastimes. So Gurudev taught us to pray like this. So I should try that to make relationship with that spiritual world, make sambandha. It's the first step, sambandha. Sambandha avideya prayojan. So what does sambandha mean? Sambandha means relationship. It doesn't just mean, like generally we think sambandha is what? Knowledge of Maya, knowledge of Jiva, knowledge of Bhagavan. But that's not the only level of sambandha. There's a higher sambandha. Real sambandha means, who's my family in the spiritual world? We pray this every Kartik, every day we sing this song. Vrishabhanu Pure Janamadoy O Javate Vivaha Habe. When will I take birth in Vrishabhanupur? When will I Javate Vivaha Habe? Recently in Kartik someone asked Rosie, what is this Javate Vivaha Habe? I'll be married in Javat. We're not in Swakiya mood, we're in Padakiya mood. What is the answer? Rudy said, what is this mood? This is a boy from England. Rudy was saying, he said, okay, now you are like a young kid. You don't know what is this spiritual marriage. What is this? This is like, marriage means sambandha, it's fixed then, pakka. Javadevi Vahahave means, may I be so fixed in my relationship to Radharani that it said, tasne masne na ho jaye. Means, you cannot budge even an inch. And also, I will develop one point of nishta in Parakya Ras. If there's no external marriage, then how will you enter into Parakya Ras? This is only facilitating Parakya Ras, this paramour mellow. If there's no vivaha, then how are you going to enter into Parakya Ras? Lakshmi Devi said, no. Lakshmi wasn't ready. But we don't want to be like Lakshmi. Lakshmi came to Belvan and she was praying to Krishna, let me enter Braj, let me enter your Raslila, let me enter your Raslila, let me enter your Raslila. And Krishna finally came and said, look, okay, in Vaikuntha you're with me, with Narayan. But you want to enter my Raslila in Braj, and there's a condition. Javadevi Vahave. You have to be married to another Sangha. She's thinking, I am Sati, I'm very chaste. How can I marry another man and then run off into the forest with you? I'm also a Brahmini. Krishna said you have to take birth from the womb of the gopis. You have to learn how to make cowdung patties. I am Lakshmi, I'm the goddess of fortune, and you want me to make cowdung patties. And then you want me to marry a Saka. And then you want me to leave him and run off with Krishna in the forest. How is it possible? So she wasn't ready, okay? She continued to do austerities. She's still doing tapasya there in Belvan. So if we want to avoid this, Javadevi Vahave, then, okay, we can stay with Lakshmi Devi in Belvan. Or we can go to Dwarka, we can go to another place, Ayodhya. We can go anywhere we like. But if we want to enter Braj, we have to enter the Parakya mood. Externally, Krishna said, externally what did the gopis say? Krishna said, oh, Dan Gati. Krishna said, oh, Brinda is my wife. Why? You were saying, we heard this in Krishna Bhavanamrita. The gopis were picking flowers. And Krishna left the cower forest with Madhumanga, and he came to the gopis and said, why are you picking my flowers? The gopis said, picking your flowers. What do you think? Who do you think you are? Your flowers. Do you think you're some kind of king here? This is Vrindavan's forest, this is Vrindavan, you don't know. It's not Krishnavan. People don't say, oh, welcome to Krishnavan. Even now, it's like not on the highway, the gate. It doesn't say, welcome to Krishnavan. It's Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, there's only one Vrinda. Vrindavan, Vrinda Devi's one, Vrinda Devi's forest. Why are you saying they're your flowers? He said, no, she's my wife. She's your wife. Like, impudent boy. So then, okay, let's call her. So they called her. Vrinda Devi came. And then the gopi said, oh, you married to this black boy? She said, never. Why would I marry this? He said, not only me, but none of the gopis ever dream even of having any relationship with that black boy. And she said, oh, even our parents never think like that. She said, no one in Braj wants a relationship with that Krishna. Why? He's bent in 3 places, crooked in 3 places. Why? He shows one love and affection to you, one person one day, the next day to another person, the next day to a third person. He's not fixed. And also he's very dark, and he's very crooked, very cruel. So why should we have a relationship with him? So externally the gopis have no connection or relationship with Krishna. This is Parakya Bhav. This also shows, like for example, when Krishna left Braj and went to Mathura, Radhika at that point experienced like the topmost zenith of separation. Topmost experience of separation. But none of the Sakhis and Manjaris left Srimati Radhika. None of them left and ran after Krishna. They were all serving Srimati Radhika. Why? Their sthayi bhav, their fixed attachment is to Srimati Radhika. This is also, we have to come to this mood. This is also in the mood of Parakya. That even Krishna may come and try to entice us. But no. I don't want any relationship with that black boy. Then it said, oh, if you are Radhika's maidservant, one point in the Nishta, then Krishna will come running behind you. Said, oh, you may try to run after Krishna for millions and millions of lifetimes. The yogis. The yogis are performing meditation for the whole Satya Yuga for 10,000 years. Other yogis who are living in higher regions, for millions of kalpas, they are performing meditation, trying to bring Krishna into their heart. Running after Krishna, but Krishna never comes in their heart. It's very difficult to bring Krishna into their heart. But for those who are the servants of Srimati Radhika, then Krishna comes running behind them. Krishna comes running behind them. We hear that in the first verse of Vilapa Kusumanjali, that when Krishna saw Rupamanjali and how his Priya Swarupe, Dhaita Swarupe, Prema Swarupe, Sahaja Virupe, Vijana Rupe, Prabodeka Rupe, Than Rupe, Svavilasa Rupe. How Rupamanjali is so one-pointed in the service of Srimati Radhika, and so tadatma with Srimati Radhika, so one in heart and one in focus with Srimati Radhika, that she attains the complexion and the moods and the figure of Srimati Radhika herself. And Krishna becomes bewildered. Who is Srimati Radhika? Who is Rupanuga? And he runs after her. We hear this with Radhi Manjari as well. But then what do? They give no time for Krishna. Even though Krishna may come, try to meet with them, try to speak with them, they immediately run to Srimati Radhika. Why? They have this Eka Nishta, Radha Nishta. That's why we pray. We pray that Yugala Milan Sukirakaran Jivana Chavite Pari. That we are ready to give up our lives happily, hundreds of times, just to arrange the meeting of Radha and Krishna. While we have no desire to meet independently or separately with Krishna. We don't pray that, to arrange my own meeting with Krishna, I'll give up my life. Then we'll go to Dwarka, like Mirabai saying, Mira, Hey Prabhu, Giridhara Naga. My only one and only worshipful Lord is Giridhari. But where's Radharani? The whole Bhagavatam was manifested to establish the glories of Srimati Radhika. That's why after the Raslila, Radharani left immediately. Saptakoti Gopi, even though there were hundreds of millions of gopis without Radharani, immediately the Rasa dance came to a halt. And then Krishna left. And then they all searched out for Radharani. They found Radharani under her shelter. When they realized her glories, then under her shelter, then again the Raslila could begin. Such is the glories of Srimati Radharani. So if we want to become fixed in the mood of Srila Gurudev, then we should, we're just repeating these instructions. We all know this. But if we want to try to become fixed in this line of Srila Gurudev, then we must develop this one-pointedness to Srimati Radhika. And how can we be one-pointed like that? We must come under the guidance of Srila Gurudev and realize Gurudev's Sarup. Do we have this sambandha? We think, I have sambandha tattva now. I know I am a jiva and I am an adi bahimukh. I've been turned away from Krishna since time immemorial. This is sambandha. And Krishna is the Supreme Absolute God, personality of Godhead. And his personality, his divine potency, Srimati Radhika, and this and that. I know all these different things. But do I have real sambandha? Do I know who my Gurudev is? It said, like Gurudev, when he was on his morning walks in the Guru Darshan, towards the later part of the Guru Darshan, said, Gurudev would go on his morning walks. And one time in Hawaii, I think he was in Hawaii, they saw Gurudev, after they came back from the morning walk, he wasn't in his room. Where did Gurudev go? They were all looking for Gurudev. He wasn't in the room, wasn't in the bathroom. Nobody comes back from the morning walk, immediately starts writing the books, taking a little breakfast, writing the books. They couldn't find Gurudev. They searched everywhere, and he was in Oahu, Vrindavan Guru's place. And they found it's right on the shore of the ocean. Very clean, pure water. And what was Gurudev's mood there? Like Mahaprabhu and Jagannath Puri, he saw this ocean is not different from Jamuna. Therefore Mahaprabhu would run into the ocean and become lost in the ocean, absorbed in the Jal Vihar, the water pastimes of Radha Krishna. So Gurudev had that mood, this is Jamuna. And they found Gurudev, he was sitting and picking flowers. That time Gurudev is like in his late 80s. In his 80s, like externally an old man, he's sitting and picking flowers. Oh Gurudev, why are you picking flowers? Now it's time to take breakfast and start your book writing, this is important. Gurudev was in a very focused, serious mood, Picking flowers for making gardens for Krishna with Radharani. And it's described in Guru Darshan. Gurudev described when he's going on his morning walks, what is Gurudev's mood at that point? Then people think, he's big acharya, walking back and forth and giving big lectures, questioning and answers to so many people. But who are the fortunate disciples who can really see the inner reality? When Gurudev was living in 1992, after the Ram Janmabhoomi Masjid was demolished by the Ram Karsevaks, then Gurudev's name went on the police report to be arrested. Because Gurudev had been somehow supporting some of these causes. Like in Krishna Janmabhoomi, he said, you are all eunuchs, you're all cowards. Why do you not establish Krishna's temple properly here? So Gurudev said many things like that. So his name, Sharananda's, and other people's names came on the police report. And then one favorable policeman, because Gurudev is also a policeman. And so it's like same caste, same job. So they had close relation to Gurudev. There from Mathura, from a little distance away, there's the police station. So one or two favorable those devotees who would come and hear Harikatha from Gurudev every day. So they heard about this, Gurudev is going to be arrested. So they came in advance and told Gurudev, they're going to come and arrest you tomorrow. Better hide somewhere. So Gurudev went with Madhav Maharaj, before, at that time, the Ling Krishna Brahmachari. And that time, the ISKCON GBC members were coming every day to hear Harikatha from Gurudev in Mathura. They would come in the morning, Gurudev would cook a huge feast. Like here we have every day breakfast feast, lunch feast, night feast. So Gurudev would cook a huge feast for breakfast, they would all take prasadam and they'd go hear Harikatha from Gurudev like 10, 11, 12. So Satsuru Maharaj at that time, he requested Gurudev to come and stay in his, he had one like kutir. Not a kutir, but like nearby Krishna Balaram Mandir, like a few kilometers, like a kilometer or so away, he had a place off the main road. It was like 2 bedrooms. So he said, Gurudev, come and stay there with me. He was saying, oh my Shiksha, Gurudev, come stay with me. And he wrote a journal at that time, like 32 pages. And then later when the policy shifted, where they had to externally disown Gurudev, like say, okay, you know, then he had emailed his journal out to many friends. I think email was available at that time. I don't know. They had this devotee site called Camel.net, one of these first sites where devotees had email. So he emailed this out and he frantically emailed everybody, oh, delete my journal, you know. 1 or 2 favorable people to Gurudev kept this journal and we can read this now. And many of his journal entries are included in Guru Darshan. And these are his own writings. There's nothing in, you know. So there he writes what was Gurudev's daily schedule there. And he would say, he would tell Gurudev, oh, it's very difficult for me to chant a lot of Harinam. And Gurudev was encouraging him, try to chant more, try to do Sankhya Purvak Nam. We should try to realize that Gurudev gives us many instructions according to our level of adhikar. But if we don't become fixed in Harinam Seva, then everything else is just bhaya. Like Mahaprabhu said, when he met with Ramananda Roy, then we see Krishna gave many instructions in Bhagavad Gita, all the way up to Sarva Dharma Prityaja Manikam Manmanavumapakto. But when Mahaprabhu met with Ramananda Roy started from this level, Vanashram Dharma and all this. Mahaprabhu said, oh my, it's external. So people think Vanashram Dharma is very important. How to have a good society, how to live peacefully and happily and prosperously and worship God, you know, be successful. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about this. He said, oh, I created this world and I created yagya and you work do yagyas and from this you can become successful in this world, have many progeny and have a good society and this and that. But Mahaprabhu said, this is external. And then higher and higher up they went. Finally he said, okay, something. Jnane prayasam udavasya namante. But Mahaprabhu said, these other things are external. If we are not taking shelter of Harinam, doing Harinam job, then all these other things, when we become caught up in the external current, the external affairs of Guru Vaishnavas, and we miss the essence. We miss what is the real mood of Guru Vaishnavas. What do they really want us to give? And along with Harinam, what else is most important for us in our line? Kirtan, Harikatha. Actually, every day, Kiribhu, Acharya, everyone was, Gurudevbu, no one, Chaitanya Bhai, everyone to speak. I wasn't thinking we were going to speak. Anyhow, they said you have to speak. I was thinking I would read some of Gurudev's Upadeshavali. Recently, I took different Upadeshavlis of our different acharyas. Gurudev, Bhakti Keshav Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Gurudev, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, also some instructions of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Gopis Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jagannath Babaji Maharaj. And I compiled them all and seen where the similarities, many of their instructions are very similar, and kind of organized them. Guru Tattva, Vaishnava Tattva, Nam Tattva, Kirtan, Jiva Tattva, Bhagavad Tattva, Krishna Tattva, seva, Kadashi, you know, how to, even diet, Jagannath Babaji Maharaj taught how you should eat, if you want to be healthy, even these things, you know, how to follow Kadashi, all these things. So I was thinking, okay, I have to speak, so let's read a little bit about this. But anyhow, we went in this other line. But what I was thinking, okay, what's very important for us now? Now, to conclude, I want to finish the story with Srila Gurudev and Satsuru Maharaj, then we'll conclude this. So Srila Gurudev was staying with him for a few days. And Gurudev would chant Harinam very early in the morning. And at that time he wasn't accustomed to doing this, but he would wake up, he said he would listen. And they had very thin walls. Like we see some, not like these brick walls, you know. Some simple like houses, they're made with like very thin like plywood board. Or in Jagannath Puri we have the room dividers that are just very thin, like aluminum plastic. So he said he would listen through the wall. It was very thin to Gurudev chanting Harinam for like 3-4 hours. He wrote in his diary at that time, he said, "Oh Prabhupada, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to take shelter of your dear friend, Sri Narayan Maharaj, who is like my Shiksha Guru." He said, "I accept him as my Shiksha Guru." So it said, your own words don't lie. Your own writing doesn't lie. Later on you can say many things. But when you're feeling this like what you write in your diary doesn't lie, It's like what you do, you're doing your diary, you lock it up, and like externally you may say so many things to people. But your own diary, in your most intimate thoughts, they don't lie. He wrote like this to Prabhupada: "Thank you so much, Prabhupada. Please let me always stay in the shelter of my Shiksha Guru, Sri Narayan Maharaj. By the current of time, anyhow, many things happen, like Krishna's will." He wrote like that. And then every day after Gurudev would do his japa early in the morning, we see what is the Vaishnava's daily regimen. And we try to start to follow that. What is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's daily schedule? We start to try to follow that according to our level. Like if we are Grihastha, then we can see how is Bhaktivinoda Thakur the ideal Grihastha. Even though he was working, if we are in Grihastha ashram, doesn't mean you can't do bhajan. Grihasthas do amazing bhajan. But it takes great dedication. As brahmacharis, it's a little bit easier. Why? We don't have to work 8 hours a day. And we don't have to spend as much time in family and social responsibilities. And that's actually the danger. Then we become lackadaisical. Oh, I have so much time. But if you realize that each moment is passing is so precious. Every moment that passes will not return. How much time we have? 24 hours a day. It's unlimited time. In 24 hours a day. It said, Parikshit Maharaj achieved salvation in 7 days. 7 days he entered Krishna Lila. Complete freedom from Maya, not only that, but complete perfection. 7 days. Khatvanga Maharaj. Only in a few moments. Khatvanga Maharaj was such a powerful king in this earth that the demigods called him up to heaven to fight with the demons. And he went to heaven, he fought with the demons like a general for the demigods for many eons. And then afterwards, they were going to give him some pension. Okay, you've been fighting against the demons for so many ages, now we're going to give you some pension, what do you want? He said, okay, first, I think he asked, what did he ask? Give me immortality or something. It was I forget the exact first question he made. I forget what he said. But then they told him, he asked them, how long do I have to live? And then they consulted Brihaspati and the different gurus and the devas, and he said, oh, actually, sorry to let you know this, but you only have a muhurta left, 48 minutes. So he said, oh no, that's short of a time. So then he said, okay, I think this is the right story. There's one story of So anyhow, he said, okay, I only have that much time, so let me meditate upon Krishna and perform Krishna bhajan. So that time, so in 48 minutes, he achieved perfection. And we have 24 hours a day, every day. For how many years? Depends. When did we join the movement? If we're young, old, doesn't matter. We have plenty of time. Decades and decades. 1 hour, 1 day, 24 hours. And then 1 week, how many hours? 1 month, how many hours? How many hours in every year? But what are we doing with that time? Even when we are externally engaged, how are we internally engaged? In Manasi Seva. Even when we are doing cleaning, cooking, where's our mind? It can be in Maya or it can be in Krishna. It can't be in the middle. So either it's in some kind of Maya or Tamagun, just like a zombie brain, or it can be somehow trying to be engaged in Krishna consciousness. But we say Krishna consciousness, and we say it so much it seems dry. But Krishna consciousness isn't something dry. Krishna Bhavanamrita. ISKCON means Krishna Bhavanamrita Sangha. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. But that Krishna consciousness of the Brajavasis. That is Krishna Bhavanamrita Sangha. It's translated like that. Actually, ISKCON is translated from Krishna Bhavanamrita Sangha. And we were hearing, hopefully, what I really want to talk about is how we can please the Vaishnavas so that they'll continue speaking Harikatha about this Krishna Bhavanamrita. But unless we become serious and don't waste our time, then they're giving this as a lesson. When they see some kind of laxness or lackadaisical nature, then they think they're not honoring what we are giving them. And why should we have to give some Like a teacher sometimes has to teach the different kinds of lessons. Guru has to teach through even separation, even the disappearance pastime is one lesson. Vidaha is one lesson. We are in this world as students. He said, why did they create this world? Because we're not qualified yet. We don't have that purity of heart and nature and desire to be in Krishna's divine abode. So we have to come and learn in this world. So we are given lessons. And Vaishnavas will teach us. Are you fully taking into account the value of what you've been given, the opportunities you have been given? Otherwise it said, don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't throw pearls in front of pigs. They don't know the value of it, they'll just trample over it. So we hear every day such wonderful Harikatha from the Vaishnavas. But still we're only thinking, like we hear the pastimes of Rupanuga. Oh, they were fighting over gopis, chadars, kamadulu pots, rooms. I don't have this, I don't have enough light, I don't have enough air. We heard this morning, Gurudev was staying with 10 people in his room. And when Gurudev first was living in Mathura, there were 3 doors. Because before, the structure was completely different. Gurudev renovated the temple many times. There was Gurudev had no privacy, and it was a very difficult situation. But we think, I need more facility. Today is not a Hare Guru Krishna say. What facility would he ask for? He didn't even want a bed because he didn't want to sleep at night. He said, if I have a bed, then I'll sleep very nicely. One time someone gave Gopinath Babaji Maharaj a nice blanket in the winter time. And he kept it outside his kutir like you have a shack. And he kept it on the wall of the shack, like a jupi jopri. Like you can see, many people living like in jupi jopris, very poor people. And the person came sometime later and said, you're just keeping it outside. You don't value the gift they gave you. He said, no. The winter will see this outside and be afraid and leave. Here's a blanket, He said, why? Then he finally told them, one day I wore it and then I slept an extra 15 minutes. He said, nonsense blanket, do it outside. You think, Vaishnavas, they haven't given me a big enough blanket. I don't have a nice heater in my room. They're saying don't have heaters in all your rooms. They're not giving a nice facility. But you get a heater and then we're already burning from the 3 tops. Why do you need a 4th top? Right? We already have Adi Atmakadi, Bhotakadi, Daivik. Now we need a 4th one. This heater will be your enemy. Srila Goswami Maharaj said, as much facilities you try to give your body, then that much your body will become an enjoyer and force you to satisfy its every whim and desire. So give yourself some austerity. Then, less sleep, less eat. More Harinam, more Kirtan, more Shravan, more Seva, more Parikrama, more following of the limbs of Bhakti. For he said, this body will never stay with you. The senses will never be your friends unless you engage them in Seva. We heard in Guru Darshan, Paramahansa said, you make sandesh. How do you make sandesh? First you boil the milk. He said, this is the life. If you want to become a perfect sadhak, a paka sadhak. Paka means cooked. Paka, and also very fixed and pure. Paka. How do you become a paka sadhaka? Okay, he said, like this. First you get a lot of wood, start a fire, big fire. And then you get a pot and pour the milk inside of it. Then you boil that milk, very hot temperature, take it off the fire, put it in the leaven culture, then you make the paneer. Then that's not sandesh. Then you take the paneer and you paste it. You want to make nice sandesh, you squeeze out the water, the juice, and you make it very fine so there's no, what do you call it? Like granular, not grains, but very smooth. Make it very smooth, and then the sandesh is very nice. Then you give some camphor, and you give some pistachios, or saffron, some mishri, sugar candy, powder. And it's nice sandesh. So sadhakas, we have to be like this. Said if we are thinking, I have so much time, let me do bhajan tomorrow. Today I'm a little bit tired, I'll rest more today. Said you don't know, you may die in your sleep. And then you waste this opportunity and who knows when you get this chance again. It takes so long, you don't know when you'll get this chance again. Therefore every day, now we are in this stage, try to make sandesh. Why? How do you make this sandesh? You have your body that Krishna gave. His body is now like a temple, but engage his body as much as you can, 24 hours a day, in Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam, Bhakti Uttama. Uttama Bhakti. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam, Niranta, continuously. If we follow the schedule of the Vaishnavas, then there's no moment to spare. Early in he said, Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. But we don't believe this philosophy. We say, no problem, late to bed, early to rise. This is how Prabhupada does. He doesn't go early to bed, early to rise. It's very difficult. I'm like, oh, it's 11, 11:30, can't go to sleep. No. 11, 11:30, then bus 1:32, Harinam, Parikrama, Kirtan, class, cooking, mala, then speaking with devotees, then 30-40 minute rest, and again chanting, then again Kirtan, then again art, then again Harikatha, then dictation, then books, non-stop. Param Gurudev was like that also. Param Gurudev, even when would he do his articles? When he's on the train. He said, I don't want to waste any time. He was always traveling back and forth preaching. So whenever he was on the train, he would write articles by dictating to Gurudev, by dictating to Bhakti Swami Maharaj, such and seva. Not wasting a single moment. Then we can get bhakti. How do we get bhakti? How many fingers short are we? Yashoda Mata was 2 fingers short. We may be 10 fingers or 10 yards short, or 10 miles short. But how do we start getting closer? Yashoda Mata, by her endeavor. Then we melt the heart of Guru Vaishnavas and Krishna, and then bas, those 2 fingers disappear. Then we can bind Krishna with our love. So we try to become like this. Then we can, these Vaishnavas are trying to teach us, become more serious in your bhakti. We think, oh, I have to go to the evening kirtans, and then arti, and then harik, and then kirtan, and then class, and then arti. Who wants to do all this sadhana? Let me be a Babaji in my room, bas, I am doing bhajan in my bed. With my 3-4 blankets and my heater. And then bas, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. First we chant like walking back and forth, Hare Krishna, in the room. Oh, I'm in my room, it's favorable, no disturbance. And then bas. We heard the story the other day about Bhakti Kumud Santa Goswami Maharaj. We heard about the boy. Not meeting with anyone, not doing the program with anyone. Oh, I'm just doing bhajan in my room. And then Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj said, no, this is not proper. Sakale Midya, Radhika Sharana Pade, all together combined, we're at the feet of Radha Krishna doing bhakti. Then we can attain the goal. Otherwise, Ekakiya Mahan, Ahipai Val, Harinam Sankirtan. Alone we cannot do Harinam Sankirtan. So together, we think, oh, I don't like doing Sankirtan, I like doing Kirtan in my room. The gopis are doing Kirtan separately, one in another room, like yogis. All together they are doing Kirtan. All together they go to the Juma doing Kirtan. All together they sing and sit and do Kirtan. We think, oh, I have no taste. Why not? Read the words of the song and try to imbibe the meanings. What are the acharyas praying? How sweet is their prayers? And become focused. And the more you become focused in this line, the more you become like not wasting a single moment. It becomes like you become on fire in this bhakti process. You become surcharged with spiritual energy. And then you never want to stop. We think, oh, I don't want to sleep 5 hours, then I'll miss such a great opportunity to be engaged in bhakti. Let me sleep a little bit less. I wake a little early, chant a little bit more, then we go and then I have to come back quickly so that we can do nice kirtan, then we can take Mahaprasad, then we can do seva. There's so many things. When you realize, when you become like fired up, why do we say fired up? Become fired up in bhakti, then you realize, it means I don't want to waste a single moment, but I feel like there's not enough time. At that time, you feel like there's not enough time to do everything I want to do in the day. That stage will come when you become so fired up in Krishna consciousness that it's like not only you feel like there's not enough time, but like at the same time you want to do Shringa, at the same time you want to do Kirtan, at the same time you want to cook, at the same time you want to make mala, at the same time you want to do all the sevas, then you start to pray, like the acharyas pray. Like we sing these astakams. May I have thousands of millions of tongues, may I have millions of ears, may I have millions of hands to serve with, millions of ears to hear with, millions of bodies even to serve with. That's why Radhika manifests in millions and millions of forms. Why? Oh Lord, how much can I do? Let me manifest in millions of forms, so in millions of ways I can serve Krishna at once. So as much as we progress in bhakti, this desire will come, this sense of urgency will come. Let me serve more, let me do more kirtan, more harikirtan, more seva, more bhakti. Then we can become perfect. Then, very quickly, it's possible. It doesn't take lifetimes. But on the other hand, Koti Janma Jali Shravan Kirtan Tabutanapaya Krishna Pade Primatan. Millions of lifetimes may pass doing lazy Shravan Kirtan without any focus, without any sense of urgency. Millions of lifetimes can pass in that way, without focusing. So Gurudev, when he was on morning walk with Satsvarup Maharaj, in that time, he started picking flowers, and there was these like yellow mustard seed flowers. He said, do you see this color? This is the color of Radharani. And he said, whatever you do, wherever you're going, you should try to become absorbed in Krishna Lila with that. You see some hill that is Giriraj, you see some river that is like Jamuna. So then Satsur Maharaj asked, oh, can we think the same way in the West? Oh, here's this river is like Jamuna, here's this mountain is like Giriraj. They said, yes, this is okay. But realize that it's not exactly the same as being in the Dham. Said the Dham, the very dust, is not different from Baladev Prabhu. And by being in the Dham and Sadhu Sangha, there's no greater opportunity to become perfect in your life than being in Sadhu Sangha, being in the Dham under guidance of high-class Guru Vaishnavas. And if you waste that opportunity, you can imagine how foolish and ungrateful we are. Out of billions of jivas, billions of human beings, and then millions and trillions of jivas, how few have that opportunity to be under guidance of Rupanuga Vaishnavas, who are performing their sadhana bhakti, showing the adarsh, the perfect example of sadhana bhakti in their lives, giving this opportunity for others to follow. And yet, we are wasting that. Gora bahu nabajiya mainu, prema ratanadana hinaya harenu. Oh, even though Mahaprabhu has given this chance, still I'm not taking advantage of it, therefore I'm wasting my life. So we pray to Srila Gurudev, we pray to Vaishnavas, let us show, by our enthusiasm, by our eagerness to follow bhakti, by our dedication to follow the program, show that we are ready to earn it. Srila Goswami Maharaj would say, first deserve. You should deserve the mercy you get, otherwise you will not value it and you will spoil and waste it. But it's like Vaishnavas are in Man Lila. How will we break the Man? It's like when Radharani is in Man, and to break the Man, Krishna has to work very hard. It's not so easy to break Radharani's Man. It's like if it was easy to break it, oh, I don't have to do anything, okay, whatever, eventually she'll get over it. Krishna doesn't think like, okay, eventually Radharani will get over it, come back to me. No. He has to ask Vrinda, ask Lita Vishaka, now what should I do this time? We would do many dramas in Badger for Gurudev. Like how to break, like beggar frame, how to break Radharani's man. Krishna has to do all these different kinds of tricks and endeavor. But the main point is we have to show more love and more dedication and more enthusiasm. And especially in the daily program. Where he said, seva, you do, no do, that's up to you. But try to attend the kirtan, try to attend the artis. Not try. Do it. Do or die. The Sridhar Goswami Maharaj is famous for saying this. Do or die. If you have this try or do or mentality, then you'll never get serious in bhakti. Oh, I'll try tomorrow. What does it mean, I'll try tomorrow? It means, oh, I don't have deep desire. I'll try to do it. Oh, will you come to art? Oh, I'll try. What does it mean? You have no sense of urgency, enthusiasm, dedication? I'm going to do it. Yes, I'll do it. What's the question? Yes. You should have this yes mentality. Yes, I will do it. I won't try. I will do it. We have this, yes, I will do it. Then we can enter this kinkari move. That yes, I will do it. The Manjaris don't say, oh, can you go and do this seva? Oh, I'll try. When Radharani says to the Manjaris, oh, can you go and make garland for Krishna? Oh, I don't know, I'll try. This try mood is not our mood of the Manjaris and gopis. They don't have this try mood. Yes, let me do it. Immediately. When Guru Vaishnavas say, oh, can you do this seva? Yes. Immediately, very eagerly, you should show enthusiasm. Yes, Gurudev, please. And then you quickly do it, and then you show Gurudev, yes, you happy? Now what can I do? What can I do next? So then, Prabhupada told us what to do. He said, do kirtan. Realize that the only purpose of the Gaudiya Math is kirtan and harikatha. There's no other purpose. Bhakti Prabhupada said, if you're not doing kirtan and harikatha, sell the bricks, sell the temple. No need for the temple. He said, there are many buildings in this world. And if we're not doing harikatha and kirtan together, this age, sadhana, independently and alone will not save you. Independent harinam will not save you. Only sankirtan will save you. Mahaprabhu said, Param Vidayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, Mahaprabhu said. He didn't say Param Vidayate Shri Krishna Nirjan Bhajanam. He didn't say Nirjan Bhajan. He said, you do Param Vidayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan all together. You do Hari Sankirtan, do Kirtan together, do Harikatha together, do Arti together. Then you chant Harinam, then you'll be inspired. Then you do Parikramma together, you have Mahaprasad together. And you do Seva together, with enthusiasm. And then you'll see, when you have enthusiasm to follow Bhakti, then you'll see, it's like you're opening wide the doors to receive Guru Vaishnava's mercy. Otherwise it's closed. It's like Guru Vaishnavas, they're laying siege on us with their mercy. But we are like we said, if you're being under siege and you're putting all your soldiers on the barricades to try to keep out the people who are attacking you. So we're thinking, oh, I don't want to get Guru and Vaishnava's mercy. Why? By our unenthusiasm. But you want to get their mercy or show your desire for their mercy by enthusiasm, then you're creating a vessel inside your heart to receive their mercy. And then, the more enthusiastic they are, the more you're attending Bhakti, Hari Kirtan properly with enthusiasm, then the more Vaishnavas will be happy, then the more mercy will give you. Then it's like they're opening the floodgates. Avada Karuna Sindhu Katya Mohan Gari Gari Kudu Prema Niyarvan. You pray to another guru, Gurudev, the Vaishnavas, please give me your mercy. But we've dammed it up. Said the dam is there. So how do we knock down that dam? Enthusiasm to Kirtan. Really, we should be thinking 24 hours a day. So, okay, anyhow, this is Vaishnava's mood. They want to now see what is how dedicated we're going to be. And not only over 1, 2 days, 3, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, and then 100% like a full moon. Now we're in a full moon stage, enthusiastic, because of chastisement. And then, down, dark moon. And then again we chastisement, again on, and then, then again full moon. And then down. Vaishnavas say, don't be like that. Okay, this is Ganatarada, unfixed stage. Becomes fixed now, Nishtita Bhajan. Become fixed every day, do or die. So, sorry for taking too much time. Hare Krishna. Let's pray together that we can please Vaishnava, so that again we can start hearing Hari Gita. Vanchakam Purivasya Vipasya Sadhana Padri Vaishnava